What if boredom isn't the enemy, but a hidden superpower your brain has been quietly waiting for you to tap into? In this video, we'll explore how stillness and boredom can actually fuel your most creative, original thinking, backed by science and real-world insight. Before we dive in, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss content that helps you grow in mindset, life, and confidence. Ready to reframe boredom and boost your creativity? Let's get started right now. 1. Boredom is a gateway, not a block. Boredom often feels uncomfortable, but it plays an essential psychological role. When you're bored, your brain is signaling that your current activity lacks meaning or stimulation. Instead of rushing to fill that void with distractions, boredom can be a doorway into deeper thought. In stillness, the mind starts to wander, a process known as default mode network activity in neuroscience. This wandering is critical for creative thinking. It's when your brain connects seemingly unrelated dots, retrieves memories, and imagines new possibilities. In essence, boredom gives your brain space to breathe, reflect, and generate original ideas. The more we avoid boredom with constant stimulation, scrolling, multitasking, or noise, the less opportunity our minds have to explore freely. 2. The brain needs downtime to innovate. Our brains are not designed to be in constant doing mode. When we're overloaded with tasks, content, and constant input, we operate in reactive mode, just responding to stimuli, not creating anything new. But during periods of boredom or stillness, the brain shifts gears. This shift engages the default mode network, DMN, a network involved in introspection, memory recall, and imagination. It's the state where daydreaming happens, and it's critical for idea generation. Studies show that people given mundane tasks like folding laundry or copying numbers come up with more creative solutions afterward. 3. Constant stimulation kills creativity. In our hyper-connected world, we rarely allow ourselves to get bored. Every spare moment is filled with phones, notifications, and media. While that might feel productive or entertaining, it comes at a cost: the suppression of creativity. Creativity needs mental space to flourish. If every moment is consumed by input, there's no room left for original output. Our minds get stuck in a loop of consuming rather than creating. Just as a plant needs air and light, creative ideas need silence and space. When we are constantly stimulated, we rely on others' ideas instead of developing our own. 4. Daydreaming is a creative superpower. We've been taught to think of daydreaming as unproductive, a waste of time. But modern neuroscience says otherwise. When you're bored and your mind starts to drift, you enter a creative and reflective state that allows for deep insight. This state helps the brain simulate experiences, imagine different futures, and rehearse possible outcomes. Writers, inventors, and artists often attribute their best ideas to moments when their minds wandered aimlessly. Daydreaming helps you play with abstract ideas, solve problems subconsciously, and build emotional narratives. 5. Stillness builds emotional awareness. Boredom and stillness don't just help creativity, they enhance self-awareness. When we slow down, we begin to notice what's going on beneath the surface: our thoughts, patterns, fears, and desires. This kind of emotional insight is foundational to creativity, because creative work is often a reflection of our internal world. When we give ourselves the space to feel boredom, we also give space to feel, period. Emotional awareness allows us to connect with our deeper motivations and values, which often inform our most meaningful creative work. 6. Boredom encourages problem solving. One of the most powerful aspects of boredom is that it creates a kind of mental itch, a drive to engage, create, or solve something. This itch can spark creative problem solving. When we're not spoon-fed entertainment or solutions, the brain is forced to explore alternatives. For example, children often come up with their most imaginative games when they're bored. Adults, too, find that boredom can push them to tackle problems with fresh energy, especially when the usual solutions aren't working. Boredom disrupts routines and invites novelty. It creates a space where traditional thinking pauses and new perspectives can emerge. In many cases, boredom precedes a breakthrough. 7. Nature and boredom work hand in hand. One of the best ways to harness the power of boredom is to pair it with time in nature. Stepping into natural environments, without headphones or screens, naturally induces a slower mental rhythm. Your senses awaken, your thoughts begin to meander, and boredom might arise. But in that boredom, something magical happens. Creativity unfolds. Research shows that spending time in nature improves cognitive function, reduces mental fatigue, and increases creative thinking. The brain, free from digital input, starts working in more fluid, associative ways. 8. Boredom can strengthen focus. It may sound counterintuitive, but embracing boredom can actually improve your ability to concentrate. When we constantly avoid boredom with fast entertainment, our attention span shrinks. We train our brains to crave instant stimulation, making it harder to focus on deep work. But sitting with boredom rewires that. It teaches your brain to tolerate slower, quieter moments, which are essential for sustained focus. Think of it like mental endurance training. The more you build a tolerance for boredom, the more capacity you develop to focus for longer periods without distraction. This is key to creative work, which often requires prolonged attention and patience. 9. Creativity thrives in constraints. Boredom creates a constraint, a lack of entertainment, structure, or stimulation. But creativity often thrives under constraints. When your options are limited, your brain is forced to invent new ones. That's why some of the most creative ideas come from situations of scarcity, whether it's limited tools, time, or resources. Boredom creates a kind of mental scarcity, and your brain responds by generating novelty. This principle is used in creativity exercises, where people are asked to solve problems with minimal tools or under odd conditions. The results? More inventive thinking. When you're bored, your mind searches for something to engage with, and often it ends up inventing something new. 10. Embracing boredom is a skill and a habit. Finally, it's important to realize that learning to embrace boredom is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. We're conditioned to avoid stillness at all costs, reaching for our phones at the first hint of downtime. But if we can retrain our habits, we open the door to enormous creative growth. Start by creating space in your day where you allow boredom, silent walks, device-free mornings, or undistracted chores. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, even anxious, but over time, your brain will begin to associate those moments with calm, clarity, and creativity. You'll start to notice thoughts and ideas surfacing that you never had time to hear before. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And that's a wrap on how boredom, something we often try to avoid, can actually unlock your most creative and focused self. Remember, stillness isn't wasted time. It's space for your mind to breathe, explore, and spark new ideas. If this helps shift how you see boredom, give it a thumbs up and share how you're creating space for stillness in your day. And if you want more science-based tools for mindset, creativity, and growth, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. I'll see you in the next one.